Cheers, guys. Epix911, welcome to the Elitist Geek VR news for Thursday, October 27th, 2016. Let's jump right into VR, guys, starting with some preamble concerning the news for tonight. So this is actually my second go. There were some strange issues in the first one. Apologies if you were in the middle of watching it, but this version has those issues corrected. So let's jump right into it, starting with a free demo called Bullet Sorrow. Now, this is a wave-based game, but it takes an approach similar to raw data. So it's wave-based plus, if you want to call it that. You collect weapons, you're moving through a base chunk by chunk. So instead of just playing from a set piece like in raw data, where the stuff comes at you, you're free to, walk around the level. In this one, you're progressing through a fairly linear map, bit by bit. The entire demo takes about 8 to 10 minutes to finish, so it's not terribly long, but it's free, weighs in about 3 gigabytes, and, contains an idea of what that game will be like when it releases into early access November 10th. So that's Bullet Sorrow. Also, some mixed reviews on Alice VR. Now, these are reviews coming from other websites and from Steam players. Apparently, there was a patch today. Santa, one of the viewers, mentioned that. I caught that on the previous news episode, so I've included that on here. I don't know what the patch specifically fixes, but a common complaint had been among reviewers that the graphics had issues and did not reflect what the trailers and the screenshots for the game showed. So I'm going to put up some graphics here. These are the gameplay shots that we saw for Alice months leading up to the game. And apparently the game does not look like that. Now, again, some of that may be just a launch bug. Either way, apparently there was a patch, and the patch resolved a graphic or a series of graphic issues. So I'll have to check that. I'm not sure that's a game I'm going to purchase, but I will definitely look into that more and see if that was the case. In the meantime, there's 3 links you can check out with reviews for that game. Next up, Vivepaper, HTCs Immersive Reading Experience that mixes augmented reality with virtual reality. Now, what the idea here is for Vive is to kind of take the concept, and it's one I'd thought of before in terms of how VR could enhance the reading experience of, say, even just a magazine, where, say you're reading an article about Hawaii, have Hawaii literally appear around you in the virtual reality sense or 360. That would be so cool. Checking out maybe Car Magazine and having actual models of the car that you can look at, sit inside, check out, lift the hood, all those types of things that you could do with virtual reality to enhance reading material. And this is a first step for them. So they've got a specific range. They're partnering with a publisher, Chinese branch publisher, Condé Nast. And yeah, instead of just clicking through virtual pages, you can select the magazine that you want, and when you start reading the article, you get virtual reality and 360 effects popping up relevant to the story that you're reading. So very cool, and I imagine that, whether it's static or animated, is just going to get better. That is something that I think is going to just enhance magazines, because they're kind of in a lull. I know there's a company here locally called, I think it's the Newspaper Group. They're essentially traditional magazine media, and they have really shrunk. You talk to some of the employees, and the size of the company now compared to just 15, 20 years ago, which is no wonder with the internet and PDFs. Yes, there's still people who read traditional magazines, but the numbers are way, way down. So very cool to see innovative stuff like that appearing, and HTC leading the way there. Next up, there's a story that's circulating. It was first posted on VR Source based on some tweets that herpes simplex 1 could be passed in the form of eye herpes from user to user. And that's kind of been debunked on a few sites. First of all, most of the population in most countries already have herpes simplex 1 as opposed to 2, which is the genital version of it. And to pass it, you would have to have oral to oral transfer. So unless you're doing something that involves that while you're swapping your HMDs, there's nothing to worry about. Same thing as the other version of herpes. You can't get it from a toilet seat. You likewise, next to impossible, very, very slim, that you're going to get it from an HMD. And so there's the original story there, and then the counter story. Just in case you come across it or hear of anyone who talks about it, you can kind of point them in that direction. Next news story, Heavy Rain developer Quantic Dream has hinted that they're going to start experimenting with virtual reality. So this is a company behind the game Heavy Rain, and that was a PlayStation 3 game. It's one that I actually missed, but apparently was a stunning game, very, very strong narrative, good graphics, very immersive gameplay, and those are pretty damn good ingredients for virtual reality. You can come out with a virtual reality gamer experience that ties a lot of those together and does it right. You could have a very good virtual reality game or experience on your hands. So hopefully this turns into something. They are a Paris-based development company. And like I said, Heavy Rain was one of their titles. Quantic Dream is their name. There will be a link here. It also leads to some of their other titles they've worked on. Next news story, and the last is Here 360, HEAR 360. They have a new microphone that will allow VR filmmakers to record spatial audio for 360-degree content. And no word on the price in the article, but there is a clasp on it which it allows it to attach to a lot of the common 360 cameras on the market, like the Gear 360. And it's 8-channel omni binaural microphone designed to capture live, immersive, head trackable audio for 360 video and VR apps. The 8-ball has 4 5-pin mini XLR outputs on the bottom of the enclosure, and each output carries 2 balanced audio signals for a total of 8 channels. So channel 1 and 2 represent front, 3 and 4 left perspective, 5 and 6 rear, and channel 7 and 8 right perspective. And there's a pretty lengthy FAQ on their website. You can check that out. Lists how to configure the recorded sound and really just the setup options. And there are a lot, including quite a few cables and other types of peripherals that you have to attach to get this completely set up. But very cool to finally see something on the audio side to complement the cameras out there, as opposed to just the standard microphones that these cameras have been coming out with. So once again, that is the 8-ball from Here's 360. And link will be in the description below. All right, guys. So that version didn't contain the faux pas, hopefully, and no audio issues. As always, cheers, and definitely catch you on the VR flip side.